bring me all our records on Dracula.
Welcome back to my dark corner of this sick world. This week sponsored by Grave Robbers from Outer Space. Stay tuned at the end of this video for news of the new vampire expansion, Bleeding in the New Year.
Shut up and sit down.
And subscribe. Supposedly, Peter Cushing said that The Blood Beast Terror, please check out our review of that, was his worst film.
What an amateur.
I'm assuming he said that before he made Tender Dracula.
I don't like it.
That said, he seems to be having fun.
Come, my dove, my little gazelle, my angel.
And on paper, this is right in his wheelhouse, playing horror actor McGregor.
My dear young friends, you see before you the last great master of horror.
Perfect casting. But McGregor has stepped back from the genre on the advice of his doctor,
It's bad for him to play monsters.
to the financial inconvenience of his producer, who sends writers Alfred and Boris to lure the star back to horror, with the help of actresses Marie and Maddie. I can see how that idea could be a good movie, especially as it becomes clear that McGregor may not have got out quickly enough. This is his house, this is his dining room, and this is how he greets his guests.
Good evening, good people. I am McGregor.
Despite his insistence that he is done with horror,
Stick to romance.
his vampire shtick may be more than an act.
Delicious.
Of course, we at Dark Corners know how to deal with vampires,
Garlic. A lot of garlic. Garlic up to your ass.
but we wouldn't do that to Peter Cushing. And this is the only time in his long horror career that he played a vampire. But again, I can see how this idea would make a good movie. I just don't see how it makes a sex comedy.
But let me tell you that as erotic dream girls, they don't quite do the
Trick.
I'm not a fan of broad comedy, but I have to think that even those with a higher tolerance than me will find the jokes hitting their target with the precision of a man accidentally chopping off his essentials.
Terrible blow to his manhood.
Funny stuff, but sex comedy can always find an audience.
Dirty old man.
And sex and horror are often placed together, although seldom this literally. And that's the least of the tonal shifts. After dinner, there is dancing. Incidentally, McGregor's wife is played by Alida Valli.
And I was naked.
Of The Paradigm Case, The Third Man, Eyes Without a Face, slumming it as much as Cushing. Back to the dancing. Are we terrified yet? What? I mean, everyone in the audience was thinking about it, but why?
I was getting lonely.
Come on in, ladies. He's a lousy writer, but as a makeup man, he's a genius. The problem is he can't stop while he's ahead.
I don't know what's harder to believe, the fact that he apparently put on this makeup while sitting at the table and no one noticed it, or his reason for doing it.
Our mission was to get Mac back on horror, not Moonlight and Roses.
And his guests committing suicide was the obvious way.
Well, maybe, but it didn't work right. I mean, if you were trying to impress him, you failed. He called you a rank amateur.
Shocking. What next? Boris makes up Marie as McGregor's wife, and
Oh, I want a mirror.
surprisingly, we don't then get a scene of McGregor going, "Ah, you guys, I thought my wife was dead and then she wasn't. I'll definitely come back to horror now." More surprisingly, we don't get any payoff at all.
How clumsy.
As far as we know, McGregor never even saw her, and Marie just removes the makeup off camera. It's never even mentioned again, as if the filmmakers lost faith in the idea, and who could blame them, and just left the scene in there anyway.
See you soon.
Actually, that describes the rest of the film. The dead wife gambit comes about halfway through, and that is the last time they make even a poor effort to persuade McGregor. Instead, we get a series of increasingly bizarre and decreasingly amusing events, like the butler cutting his own toe off, followed by Maddie stripping to bandage it while singing.
You clumsy boy, an axe you know is not a toy. Just ask your toe.
This is one of two songs coming out of nowhere.
A goblin's kind, and ghouls are too. A wolf sublime, but play it cool.
Giving a similar impression that this was going to be a musical, but they lost faith in that as well.
Oh, cut that out!
On 4 separate occasions, characters are pronounced dead and then just aren't.
Hey, hey! Oh! Mabel! How many times must I ask you not to startle the life into me like that?
In the first half, it was failing to deliver on the plot. In the second, it fails to deliver on basic lucidity.
Tovarich, this is bad news. We're not made for horror scripts. A total failure.
Wasting its cast and its location.
Horror is dead.
Comedy's not looking that healthy either. At times, this is right in Cushing's comfort zone.
For me, she has eliminated horror. She has led me irresistibly towards a world where hearts palpitate, not in tortured chambers, but beneath pure and snow-white breasts.
At others, very much not.
You see before you someone who has created living beings out of bits and pieces of dead bodies, some of which were very old, older than the earth.
At the end, it emerges that the producer has been shooting all this for a film called Bunglers.
Bunglers, 65, take 1.
Action.
And it dissolves into an impromptu orgy.
What's wrong with you, Jack?
Until... just in case there was any chance remaining of this making sense.
I will make you understand.
And yet, Peter Cushing does deliver on the character of a hammy actor living in one of his own films.
You know I can do anything.
He really can.
I know!
Classic card game Grave Robbers from Outer Space is back from the dead because you made it happen on Kickstarter. So now the Academy of Resurrected Games and Holdings is raising more gross from the grave by ringing in 2024 with Bleeding in the New Year, an all-new expansion with 5 new feature packs riffing on your favourite vampire movies. How will your flaky ingenue survive against teenage vampire hoods, space vampires, and Skippy the undead hellhound? She'll need more than an improvised cross. She'll need...
garlic. A lot of garlic. Garlic up to your ass.
Join the Kickstarter campaign to help dig up another blood-soaked serving of cult horror and B-movie carnage. And pick up your exclusive serialized Dracula card. Do you know what I love most about this expansion pack?
All the damn vampires.
Take your undead obsession to new depths. Check out graverobbersgame.com and support the gross Bleeding in the New Year expansion on Kickstarter. The links are in the description below.
You vampire!
Thanks for watching. Please check out our top 10 Peter Cushing horror films here. And don't forget to pick up a copy of my book, The Immortal Dracula. I can say with some confidence, it is better than this. What film other... What other films just give up halfway through? Let us know in the comments below.
You get out.